morning, everybody, and welcome to CW Iowa Live here on KCWI Channel 23. It's Tuesday, and it means it's time to check in with Ron the Car Guy, who's our special co-host all morning long as Lou is on vacation. He's taken some much-needed time off to deal with some family situations, so we're so excited to have Ron filling in today, but also it's your time, Ron. This is normally when we've been talking about great information people need to know about their automotive needs.
I get a bonus today.
You do?
Yeah, I get to talk to myself, which I've been known to do in the past.
So unfortunately, we're still dealing with the aftermath of all the hurricanes that affected us in Texas and Florida. Of course, we're thinking of those in Puerto Rico still. But something we don't always think about is vehicles and other things that might be moving north because of that happening.
North, east, west,
right.
Wherever. Yeah, exactly. And late August, obviously, we had Hurricane Harvey landed in Texas. And then a short time later, we had the hurricane in Florida. Mm-hmm. And they're far from being even close to recovered. I mean, I flew through Houston a couple of weeks ago, and as you're flying in, you can still see standing water where there probably shouldn't be standing water.
Wow.
So, it's in the media, and then we kind of forget all about it and stuff. But in Texas alone, not just Houston, but Texas, the parts of the state that got hit with the hurricane, there was over 500,000 cars, that's 500,000 cars, that were submerged in floodwater. And so we've got a picture here to put up, and this particular picture, I've got a friend, his name's Mike Mayo, and this is his mom's car sitting in her garage in Houston.
Okay, I think we're working on.
We might have a picture. Craig's going to work on that.
We're working on getting that. But is it one of those things when we think about hurricane destruction and everything like that, we just think those cars go to a dump, or we think they get destroyed, or what's the natural assumption of what happens with those vehicles?
Well, from a layman's term, I mean, the assumption is the car probably gets cleaned up and then it's ready to go. Maybe you change the oil and stuff, and that's not the case of what really happens to the car.
Okay.
Whenever a car has been submerged in water, basically it needs to be thrown away.
Really?
And so if you compare it to this, picture placing your television, your laptop, your tablet, picture placing that in a bathtub full of dirty water for several days.
Right.
Because these cars were underwater for several days.
Several days.
And would you ever expect that to work again?
No.
No, you'd throw it away. And cars have all the computers and all the electronics in it, just like a TV, a laptop, any other device. And unfortunately, all that stuff is mounted under the carpet, under the seats, under the dash. So it doesn't even have to be totally submerged. I mean, it can be just part way up the door, and that stuff's just covered. Now all the electronics, the wiring, the connections and stuff are all submerged in dirty water. And unlike your cell phone, I mean, there's not a big bag of rice you can put the car in to try to dry it out.
There's no easy fix.
No, there is no easy fix. And so basically that car's totaled. It needs to be thrown away. Okay. And but what my point here is that doesn't always happen.
Right.
And so a few years ago, after Hurricane Sandy up in the Northeast, several months after that, we had someone bring a couple of cars in for a pre-purchase inspection. And as we were doing our inspection on it, to look the car over and see if there's anything major.
Because that's something you do at Westside Auto Pros.
Absolutely. One of the things that we do as part of that inspection is we'll pull the carpet back and we'll unplug some of the electrical connectors in there, and we'll look in there, and we're looking for corrosion. We're looking for a green corrosion. And both of these cars had that. And so then if you went through and started looking at the history of the car, they came out of the Northeast. And it wasn't the local dealer was trying to pull a fast one or anything like that. I mean, they honestly didn't know. They bought them at an auction somewhere, and these cars, filtered in through the mainstream.
Right.
And it's not going to be all 500,000, but that's going to happen on some of them because some of the cars maybe weren't insured or didn't go through an insurance company, so it's not going to show up as a salvage title or a flood car or damage like that. It just rolls into the mainstream. Somebody cleans it up. So you really want to be aware of things to look for. If you're buying a car, and probably a couple of things that I would look for is, see if there's a mildewy smell inside the car.
Right.
If it's got all new interior.
On a used vehicle, that might tell you.
Not very often you have to replace the interior on a car.
That might tell you something.
Or maybe the carpet doesn't fit; it's kind of shrunk up.
Okay.
Because it's been cleaned so many times.
Right.
But more importantly, like I said, we actually pull the carpet back and start unplugging some electrical connectors and look for signs
Yeah,
there.
how often have you done that if you're purchasing a used car? Never. Never.
Or how many places even do that?
True.
But Carfax and the reporting sites are a good place to go too. And like I said, if it's been totaled through an insurance company, it will show as a prior salvage on there. That should raise a red flag. But also, I would look and see, where did that car live in August? If it was registered in Texas in August,
might just want to give it a second thought.
Yeah, or pay a little closer attention. Take a peek and look at it and see what's going on. A little bit more in depth and stuff like that. So, just buyer beware. There's people out there trying to make a fast buck. Fortunately, it's not widespread. But the reason you don't want to end up with one of these is not necessarily are you going to have a problem today, but as that corrosion grows within the connections and stuff like that, the electrical system, you're going to start having just widespread electrical problems maybe 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, a year down the road. You just don't want that vehicle.
Well, as you said, it's all things you don't see. Like if it was submerged just underneath the vehicle, it's touching a lot of stuff, but it's not stuff you don't get underneath your car and be like, oh, doesn't look good here.
One day you're going to go to turn the wipers on and they're not going to work. And you're going to be calling Mary Anderson up saying, what the heck's going on here?
Mary, this invention isn't working.
Exactly.
What's going on with my windshield wipers? Okay, so great information there. Something to keep in mind, especially months down the road, because it might not be happening right now, but those might eventually be filtering through the system.
Yeah, if you're looking at a pre-owned vehicle, I mean, look at the history. Where did it come from? See if you can talk to the previous owner. Or take it somewhere, take it to us or somewhere and have a pre-purchase inspection.
I was going to say, because I don't necessarily know what to look for, but there's obviously wonderful people that do know.
We'd be happy to help.
All right, perfect. And now it's still October.
It is.
Which means?
Shocktober.
Shocktober.
That's right. This is cool. A lot of people have taken advantage of this.
Good. Saving lots of money.
Buy 2 shocks or struts and get 2 free. And this is, I mean, it's saving people hundreds of dollars. If you've been told that your car needs shocks or struts, give us a call, shoot us an email, check us out. This is the best deal I've ever seen.
Boom. All right. And Ron, if people want to take advantage of all the great work that you do over at Westside Auto Pros, or they need to have something inspected like we were talking about this morning, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
You can just call us at westsideautopros.com, 225-9090. Or email us, go through the website. We're really popular on Google, easy to find.
Or just come down to the station for a couple hours this morning, because Ron's going to be hanging out with us all morning long.
Stop in, ask a question.